We are live. Hey, girlfriend. Oh my gosh. Refuel looks a little different this time, don't it? Oh my goodness. Welcome, 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 everyone who is tuning on in. We want to give you a couple seconds to log in, to grab your coffee. I got mine. Grab your water, grab your tea, put the kids somewhere so they don't come messing with you. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait for this. I am so excited. And I'm not even going to lie. I am nervous because y'all know we don't even do stuff like that. I don't do stuff like this. I don't do this live. It's just not about my life. All right. We want to give people some time to come on in. So please come in, enjoy. We have so much goodness coming out today for everyone. And I'm just like, I'm ready. I just want to bring everybody out. Get everybody on here. Let's get to the juice. Let's get to the tea. Let's get to the cookies now. But welcome, welcome, welcome. On behalf of the Love Me More organization, we are here with Refuel, which is our women's empowerment series that we started last year. As I said, it looks a little different this year. So come on in, get yourself comfortable. Like I said, grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we about to have a talk. Like, no, there's some stuff going on. Girlfriends need some advice. Like, listen, I was reading some of this stuff and I'm like, oh, it's juicy. It's juicy. I said, but you know what? We're going to lighten up the mood. We all got stuff going on. Everybody, and there's no perfect bodies out in this world. So we're just going to share some stories, share some insight, and hopefully just, bless everyone today. So if you're just tuning in and this is your first time hearing about Refuel, like I said, Refuel is our women's empowerment series, which we started last year. And actually, you know what? We have a little video, so take a look at this. Oh my goodness. So first, let me tell you, that was the first time I saw that video and it just took me back. I'm like, yo, we had such an amazing time. It was over here at Miss Seeley's Blues in Turnersville, and we were actually going to be there on location. But because, hey, this is the life we in right now, we had to change things up a little bit. But I promise it's still going to be just as powerful right where you are, right where we are, being safe in quarantine. All right, guys? So this year's, let's just talk a little bit about what this year's theme is, which is, spoiler alert, your story ends in victory, right? So how many times have you said, if I could write a book on what my life says, and this, it's like we all have stories in life, good, bad, and ugly, because that's the nature of the experiences sometimes, right? So the thing is that in life, we all have different chapters. We all have different pages. We all have different things that we're turning, right? And the chapters don't always end on a high note, right? Sometimes they kind of end on the down or with a cliffhanger or in suspense. And I don't know where you find yourself in life right now and what your chapter is looking like, but I can assure you that no matter what it looks like right now, whether you're on chapter 2, 3, 4, 40, the end of the book ends in victory. And if that's too much of a church word for you, let me just say you winning. You gonna win, okay? Win, because that's what we do. We win. And it may not feel like that. Like I feel like I know when I go through things and I'm just like, oh my goodness, like I can't get through this, or why am I going through this? Like, what is going on? And I had enough, and our minds play tricks on us. And we could be going through something for a month, but we feel like, nah, I've been trekking this journey for like 10 years, because our mind plays tricks on us. I don't care what it looks like. And what I mean is not that I don't have compassion, not that I don't have love. What I'm saying is it doesn't matter, because at the end, it's victory. It's win-win. And I want to go ahead and go to Jenny and Mike, because they have something that they want to share with us when it comes to victory.
The wind may be formed, but it won't prosper. When the darkness falls, it won't prevail. 'Cause the God I serve knows only how to triumph. And my God will never fail. No, my God will never fail. So I'm gonna see your victory. I'm gonna see your victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. And I'm gonna see your victory. I'm gonna see your victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. There's power in the mighty name of Jesus. Every war he wages, he will win. I'm not backing down from any giants, 'cause I know how this story ends. I know how this story ends. And I'm gonna see your victory. I'm gonna see your victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. And I'm gonna see your victory. I'm gonna see your victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. Oh. You take what the enemy meant for evil and you turn it for good. You turn it for good. You take what the enemy meant for evil and you turn it for good. You turn it for good. We're more than conquerors. 'Cause you take what the enemy meant for evil and you turn it for good. Yes, God, you turn it for good. So I'm gonna see your victory. I'm gonna see your victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. And I'm gonna see your victory. And you're gonna see your victory. 'Cause the battle belongs to you, Lord.
guys so much. And I love, that's one of my favorites. And because, for me, and I've said this many a times, whatever you believe, you need to believe in a higher power that's greater than you. Because when you have exhausted all of yourself, you need to be able to look to something that is greater to make you be able to know that, no, I can go for more. I'm going to make it through. For me, I've always said it, and I'm not ashamed to say it. It has been God. And I know because of my belief system, because of my faith, I know that anything that I'm going to face, the good, the bad, right? The ugly stuff, it's all working for my good. It's all training me up. It's all strengthening me. And it's coming for a greater good for myself. Because we'll be quick to be like, oh, I'm going through this for so-and-so. No, baby. You're going through it for you. I promise. You are going through it for you. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. I promise you, you're going to see the victory. You're going to see the win at the end. It doesn't matter what the chapter looks like. If it's down, if it's the cliffhanger, if it's suspenseful, if it's like, I don't think we're going to make it to publishing, like whatever that looks like, just make sure that your book is non-fictional, okay? We don't want that fictional stuff. We want the non-fictional book of your life, all right? So I am so excited. And again, we want to thank Jenny and Mike for sharing that, because that's what it looks like. We know with all certainty. And as she said, she's like, I'm going to see that victory. Sometimes you got to say it out loud to convince yourself. I'm going to see the win. I'm going to make it out of this. Sometimes you just got to say it, okay? So before I bring out the panelists, I want to give a quick shout out and a very huge thank you to Bert and Danielle Wright. They are of St. John's Church Ministries out in Camden. And it is because of them that we are coming to you through this way. I had the opportunity of being on a show that they had last week that it premiered. What About the Next? And it was through them and being on there. And I was sweating bullets, y'all, because listen, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even like doing stuff like this. But I was sweating bullets. But, they brought us in and we had an amazing chat. And they kind of just showed us the ropes when it came to this whole platform. So we were able to come to you differently when it comes to this. So, because we're not trying to cancel anything. We're trying to maneuver life in the middle of all this chaos, right? So we want a great shout out to them. Another thing I want to say is, if you're watching on Facebook, please please share your comments. We are going to address them. We are going to see them. If you are, also share it. Share the link. Don't just share the link. I want you to share the link, and I want you to tag your best girlfriend, whoever that is, because if we were at Refuel in the building, you already know what we do. Bring your best girlfriend. That's what we do. So make sure you share this. Tag your best girlfriend or tag your best girlfriends so they can just kind of partake with us this morning and have a little fun. Also, if you are watching us through YouTube, we want to thank you. Make sure you like and subscribe, because I know you have the direct link to just be on there. But make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, because we have some amazing things coming. But I'm not going to get into that now. We're going to do that later. So without further ado, can we bring out the girlfriends? All right. So listen, as they're all coming in, these are some amazing ladies. Okay, these are ladies that have touched my life in a beautiful way. And what I mean by that, I have poured out some ugliness to them, and they have given me some really great advice. I'm not going to sit here and do all the background bios, because we actually already posted that on social media. So if you check out our Facebook page, you'll be able to read all about them. But these are women who are not just professionally developed. They are personally developed. Okay. They have been through some things in life. And not only did they came through victoriously. They came through winning. Okay. They came through with a win-win. So, you know, and I'm talking about overcoming, abuse. I'm talking about overcoming, bad relationships, or should I say unhealthy relationships, overcoming just different addictions, whether it be to food or alcohol or drugs or whatever, just using things out of the norm that really actually disturb our peace, but we kind of run to it in peace, you know, thinking that we're going to get something out of it, but they've overcome in a better way, in a better life, and they are living their best life. And I think we all should be able to do that, right? And I mean, you can still live your best life with mess going on, all right? So, ladies, can y'all say, hey, girlfriend, real quick for all the
Hey, girlfriend.
Hey, girlfriends.
Oh, I love you, ladies. You look amazing. You look beautiful.
Love you too.
And
Love you too.
Thank you for coming on out and being here with us. You know, we're all at our kitchen tables and, you know, we're sharing the talk because I know and Stacey can attest to this. Anytime I go to her house, I'm like, I need a cup of coffee. Let me sit at the table. Let me give you my woes. Fill me up, girl. That's what we do as girlfriends, though, right? We sit at the table, we chit chat, we get some things out, we iron, you know, we sharpen each other up, and we send us back on our way to go ahead and get back into life. So
that's right.
So I'm so excited to have you ladies here and to be sharing the goodness that I get from all of you. Right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So let me just say this before we jump into this, right? Because we do have some stuff that we're going to be talking about. What we did was we sent out a survey and we asked women what they needed advice on, what they needed help with, like what was it that if they needed their best girlfriend's advice on life, what would it be? And these women were bold enough and courageous enough to share what it is that they're going through in life. Now, this is a no judgment zone. Okay, that's number one. We are. This is a no judgment zone. What we do is in love. It's encouraging. We're going to share some compassion. You may see some looks from us, but it's all love and all good because you know I'll be looking. I was like, girlfriend, and y'all know me. Because if I start seeing something, I'm like, listen. You know better. We know better. Okay. So, but it's all love and it's all good because I got my own stories and y'all know my story. And if you don't know, you will know because I'm one. I tell my business. Anybody doesn't have to tell you nothing. You're going to hear it from me, from the source, because it's therapy for me. And before somebody gets the story wrong, I'll make sure I tell it right. Oh my goodness. So you get nonfiction when it comes to me, baby. Right? All right, girlfriend. So we have a couple questions here that we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go through. And Stacey, I'm gonna call on you. We're gonna chit chat a little bit about this. I'm gonna read what's on here so everyone can hear and listen. If you have some things in the comments that you want to say, please feel free to do so. If it's inappropriate, it's not going up there, y'all. We're not going to put it up there. Like I said, we're doing this in love. Like we are not judging anybody. We are loving on people. We are helping people and we are blessing people. Okay. So let's go with number one. And don't be sitting there. Don't be all shocked. Don't be sitting here grabbing, what is it? What do they say?
Clutching the pearl.
Yes, there you go. Don't be doing that. Don't be gasping. Don't do all that, because y'all know we all got a little juice to our stories. All right. So it says, here is one of the ladies who's looking for some girlfriend advice. I became romantically involved. Wait, why do I feel like I'm doing these strawberry letters? Y'all know them strawberry letters that was like,
yes.
Like that's
yes.
what I go over here.
Yes.
I feel like I'm doing the strawberry letters over here. Oh my goodness. I became romantically involved with a man who was physically separated from his wife. Over the course of time, he moved back into the marital home for financial reasons. It's been over a year and he is still there. I feel like he is flip-flopping between the both of us. And I don't know what to do because my heart is involved. I get that. I don't know if I should walk away because I've been waiting for this man for so long. I feel like if I stop waiting and move on, I just wasted all that time. Should I walk away? And if so, how? Okay. So, before I chime in, because I was like, girl, I'm about to show you how. No, I'm about to stand up. No, go ahead, Stacey. Talk to me. What we got for her?
Okay. Well, first of all, I am honored to be here. It's a blessing to pour out any type of information or knowledge I could get. You know, we go through things for a reason.
Yes.
So back to the question. Although I would love to, I'm not going to tell this young woman what to do. The best advice somebody gave me was to listen to the inner voice that's inside me. But what I am going to speak to this young woman is that to make the courageous choice that you feel is the best and the healthiest thing for you and your family. I don't know if you have any children, but whatever is going to be best for you and your family. Because I feel like most of the time, deep inside, we know what it is that we need to do.
Speak that.
But what we need the most is the courage to make the choice that we already know that we need to make. So I would advise you to trust what you're feeling. And above that, trust what you know deep inside of yourself. Let that inner knowing guide you to the right choice. And as far as you feeling like, you know, you would have wasted a lot of time, there's one fact about life that you can count on. There is never, ever a wasted lesson. A fact about life, you can always count on that. So lessons we learn, what happens is they become a part of us. They become part of our story. And what happens, like when we see that victory, the entire story is beautiful.
Yes.
Even the broken pieces,
together.
God uses even the broken pieces to make a beautiful story.
Yes.
So our pain turns into our purpose. So again, it becomes valuable for you. And it's going to be a tool that you're going to keep in your toolbox. It's also going to help you to make future decisions. It's going to help you help other people in that situation later on in your life. So until you're like, while you're in the process, until you make the decision, and we could all tell you what to do. But you know what? I really believe that you know inside you what you need to do. But in the meantime, until you make that decision, love on yourself.
Listen.
Your confidence.
Listen.
Women and anybody who's going to speak life into you so that you can start to believe in yourself. Spend some time doing what is good for you, whether that's getting your nails done, getting your hair done, reading a good book. Spend some time with you. And spend some time listening to that inner voice inside you that's going to guide you. And another thing I learned is to listen to the confirmation, because other people are going to speak to you. Whether you're hearing a motivational speaker, you're talking with your girlfriends, they're going to confirm what you already know.
Already know. That's the thing. Already know. And you know, let me say this, because when you said about how that was my big thing, that what you said, you already know. Like if we, because I just have to go, I just want to say this real quick in this first sentence. You said that you romantically got involved with a man who was physically separated from his wife. So he's married, right? I'm sorry. I have to do this in all love.
You're right. You're right.
Wife. You refer to the woman as his wife. So that means he's married. And when you were saying, Stacey, about focusing like on yourself, loving yourself. To me, I think that's real. I think that's key here
Yeah.
because it's about the value that you put on yourself and the value that you put on the love that you give another individual.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, there is no excuse. If you trying to be with me, you can't have no mess going on over here. And I'm listen, I'm a little more ghetto than Stacey is, okay? So I'm like, no, because that takes time that you have to pour into yourself to value yourself enough to be like, I'm a whole package. You want to come over here with a broke up package? You know what it reminds me of? Like, I was reading this post from Natalie Lopez. She is her and her husband, they pastor a church out in Millville called Versa Church, right? And she did this thing with Lowe's where they purchased this they purchased a stove they purchased a range, right? And when they delivered it, it was all banged up, but they had paid, they put, they got their money together, they put money into this thing, they took time, taking measurements and figuring out what they wanted and what was going to look good in their house, and they picked this thing and it was delivered to them as damaged goods. My thing is this: if you come in full package, why are we accepting things that are damaged? That's damaged. He's damaged. Listen, in all love, I say this. Y'all got me hyped. I'm sorry. But that's damaged. And you do know the answer. Like, I agree with Stacey. We know the answer on the inside. But what happens is our emotions, like you said, my heart's involved. In other words, your heart, you're seeing this thing from an emotional attachment. But really, did you really want to get involved with someone who wasn't as put together as you? Do you really think, and even when I think about myself and in my beliefs, I'm just like, even with my father, and I'm talking about my earthly father, this man is not perfect. And I say that with all love. I love you, Dad. Right? I say that with all love. But I know how my father feels about me. And I know the greatness that he wants for me. And that's something, I feel like we settle. So for me, you have not, we can't look at anything as a waste of time. Anything was wasted. It's all part of the story. It's all part of your journey. We make decisions based, Stacey, she always says, listen, I did the best with what I could at the time that I was in the season that I was in. And the decision made, okay. And I say, but at this point, if you yourself are saying, I feel like he's flip-flopping, that means he's flip-flopping. You said that I don't know if I should walk away, but your basis for wanting to walk away, it's because you've waited so long for him. That shouldn't be your basis to wait on anybody. I was like, it should. I was like, no. My thing is, you have to value yourself enough and acknowledge what you bring to the table, and don't gyp yourself. Don't gyp yourself. And I agree with Stacey. I believe that you know what the answer is on the inside. And sometimes as women, we all need support. And I was like, no, we need support. Sometimes we need help making the right decisions and, to see clear and hear clear. And while we're not going to say, go run to him, knock on the door, but I just want to say this. I just want to call something to your attention. We in quarantine. We're in quarantine. So ain't nobody living in the house. He ain't living in the house either. Okay?
How about that?
So, we in quarantine right now. So just let that, listen. So, but I absolutely agree with everything that Stacey said on that. And, and the whole thing was like, should I walk away? And if so, how? If so, how do I do that? Girl, you got to take one day at a time. And it really is about filling yourself up, and it's about filling up your time and filling up your thoughts, because you're going to be thinking about him, wondering what he's doing, wondering if they're together, that's no way to live. That is no way to live, So I hope that helps a little bit with what you're going through. And, we're keeping things, like I said, we're trying to keep it as miscellaneous. We don't want to give too much of who the person is and things like that, because we want to keep it anonymous. So let's move on to number 2. I financially struggle with wanting the best things that life has to offer and saving for a rainy day. I have tried saving money, but it seems that when I do, I end up living in lack, which causes me to spend my savings. How can I balance enjoying life and saving for a rainy day. Miss Ella, what can you share with the girlfriend?
Well, this was perfect. One thing I know you have to do, and before I start, I want to say thank you so much for asking me to be a part of this panel. I'm really honored. I've gone through this myself, um, not only when I was younger, but as I got older.
Yes.
Life throws a lot of things your way,
Yeah.
and can just mess your whole system up. But what I wanted to say is that you have to be mentally ready to set your budget and abide by it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be strategic.
Mm-hmm.
So setting that monthly budget and putting that money aside, it's going to cause you to come out of your comfort zone and some of your old ways. And you have to prioritize your debt reduction, like credit cards to pay off, student loans. You have to look at what you're going to pay off monthly. That's going to get you to be able to save more money for the future. The other thing I always say is if you can add on multiple streams of income.
Right there,
so
yes.
so that you're able to bank more money. And another thing for young people that I know growing up, this was not taught in our home, is life insurance. Because when you do a life insurance policy, they have in those policies, I remember when the life insurance, when the insurance agent would come to my mom and dad's home and sell them insurance, it was only for a death policy. We didn't get the other part of it, where when you get a certain age, there is cash that comes to you. So if you do a policy and then you schedule it for age 40, I can get $50,000 and still have my death benefit and not receiving a reduction. That's cash to you. That allow you to venture into other visions that you may have, investing in real estate and things of that nature. And I learned that when I worked in the financial industry, that's exactly how a lot of my colleagues were running into money and getting money. By the time they were 23, 24, 25, they had 75,000 coming to them because their parents took out insurance policies that brought money to them and still didn't mess up. It was a whole life and a term. So those are some things that we can look at strategically, because that's going to set you up for retirement.
Yes.
So,
I love that you said that too, because it's not just about the right now. It is about the tomorrow. And let me tell y'all, Miss Ella, look, she knows what she's talking about. She helped me with my investments during this whole quarantine stuff when all this pandemic started happening. And I'm like, listen, that was one of the things. She's like, we need to take advantage of the things that are going on. And I asked her, I was like, give me your advice on some stocks. And she gave me some sound advice. And I was like, boom, let me invest my money. And I've already seen a difference. So I'm telling you, she knows what she's talking about. And I'm so grateful for her, because, you know, this is one of her gifts. You know, she knows what she's talking about, and she's worked in the industry for a very, very long time. And I love, you know, when she said about the multiple streams of income, you know, I was like, that's a very big thing. Cause I'm like, yo, we got multiple streams of bills, y'all. So we need to change the story around. Multiple streams of bills mean we need multiple streams of income. That don't mean go get yourself 5 jobs. But it looks different for everyone else. And I love, you know, the investing and also just remembering that this is just a season of life. It's not going to look like that. You know, it's not going to look like this. You know, when we have seasons of lack. You know, it happens. But thank you so much, Priscilla. I love everything. That is so on point, and
you're welcome.
I am with you. I am with you. All right, we're gonna do one more, and then we're We're gonna shoot to some other friends of ours who are at another location as well. Let's go to this one. What do you ladies suggest I do for my mental health during this whole pandemic because I have a history with depression? Raquel, girlfriend, talk to us.
So, I love that question because that is something that so many of us struggle with. And depression is really, it boils down to like what you're thinking in your mind, right? Especially during quarantine right now, it's so easy to kind of spiral into that idea of all the things that are going wrong, all the things that could possibly go wrong. For those people that are stuck in the house by themselves, that depression, just feeling lonely. And, it's like a petri dish of all the things in our life that haven't gone right.
Yes.
And so I think especially during this time, it's important that you really remember that your mindset is not something or is something that you can control. So I often like to think of it like if you were taking a drive and sometimes you're driving somewhere and you have one destination, but you end up going somewhere else because your body's on and your mind's on autopilot. It's the same thing when we're dealing with like depression, anxiety. Our minds are on autopilot. So when we give it the chance, it will go into all of those dark, deep spaces. So you have to just set up places for yourself to have some positive energy coming in. So whether you're calling somebody that can uplift your spirit, whether you're listening to podcasts, things like this, there's so much free information out there right now. So find those things that you're interested in that are going to actually grow your mind because it will take the focus off of the things that aren't going right. And then the other thing is that you got to invest in yourself right now. There's counselors out there, coaches like myself that are giving out free programs, free coaching. Do not try to do this alone. Depression is not something that you can do by yourself. It's something that you really do have to link in to some of those other sources. The other thing is the news is not going to be your best friend if depression is something that you deal with. Same thing with social media, pop in there, get the positive stuff, and then get off of there because, there's a lot of doom and gloom flying around and it's easy to funnel down into that dark space. So you just have to be a warrior for yourself and for your mindset and really guard your mind, like what is coming in it. And in those spaces where you're just feeling, where you start to feel like you're getting ready to go down that road of depression, you got to shift it. You got to shift your thought. And I often like to tell people to think of one word that you want to be instead, right? So if you're feeling depressed, what would you like to be feeling instead? And whatever that is, you do it. So if your word in that moment is, I just want to be happy in this moment, then what do you need to do in this moment to be happy? Do you need to call somebody? Do you need to turn on your favorite music and type in that moment? We have to kind of create that energy because our minds aren't going to naturally do it on its own.
Girl, you said a whole bunch right there.
I did. I was like trying to shove it in there.
Like, my goodness. And let me tell y'all, and I love her. Like she's a wellness coach. And it's funny, I always go back to the story because she did that with me. But let me tell you how she did that with me when we were sitting over at the diner, had me crying. And I'm like, oh my God, we're in public. I'm sitting here crying like baby. But you know what? She's such a natural person to talk to. And that wasn't even the nature of our meetup. Our meetup was business. And then personal, you know how it is when you get with your girlfriends, it becomes personal. It's always personal. Yeah. And but what she said, man, it is so true. Battling with depression, you can't do that alone. Don't do it alone. Don't feel like you're going to do it alone. And I love the keys that you gave because, when you, especially under this, when we're in quarantine and we're in a house or people who are actually working, like they're suffering from it too, who have to actually be out there on the front lines, as, so to say. They're going through it also. And I feel like, panic sets in. And when panic sets in, we're like, I don't know what to do. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. Like we're going crazy. Yeah. And so you gave just such tangible things. And it's true. The news is not your friend right now. It is not your friend. And I love when you said about if you're going to get on social media, jump on and get off. This is the perfect time for you to pour into yourself. And if you don't know what that looks like, you definitely need to hook up with one of us. Like hook hook up with one of your girlfriends, hook up with, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm telling you, because we are all doing that. And that's one of the things that I'm so grateful for in the middle of all this is that I had to slow down. You know, I had to slow down, and I feel like I am taking care of myself so much better than I was before. And I think, and we need to find this silver lining in all of this. So thank you. So I'm telling you, she is so good because she did that one word thing with me, and she was just like, what do you want to feel? And I was just like, happy. Of course I want to feel happy.
Melissa.
Crying over my waffles.
Melissa.
But I love. Thank you so much, guys.
Can I add something? Can I just
1 second, Miss Ella?
Okay.
When we come back, we're gonna take a quick break because we want to kind of just show you guys what we have going on.
Okay.
We are so excited to announce about next week because we partner up with an amazing family. So some things that we have going up, which is next week, if I'm not mistaken, it's next Friday. We are having a family game night. Hey! So I want to take it to one of the greatest families. I said one because there's a whole bunch of y'all out there, but one of the greatest families that I have gotten to know, and it's Jaleesa and Hezekiah. Bring it, baby.
Oh my goodness, we're live. So at least I'm bored, girl.
Me too.
I can't do this quarantine life.
You know what? I have an idea. You know what we should do?
What?
A game night.
A what?
A game night! We should have a game night!
Okay, game night.
Yeah.
When is that supposed to happen?
May 1st.
We can't just do it with us.
Who should we invite?
Yo,
Yo.
y'all should come out
I
to this
like
game
that
night.
idea. That's
why
why
not?
I married
Listen,
you.
May 1st actually is the day before my birthday.
Hey, party under his house.
So if y'all can't tell, we crazy, and we gonna be all hosts.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Y'all need to be there.
Yeah.
6:30.
Yep, 6:30.
May 1st.
We're gonna do bingo. We're gonna have games night. We're gonna have pizza. We're gonna have Twister. We're gonna have Scrabble. We're gonna have karaoke. We're gonna have so much fun. You gotta be there, okay?
Gotta be there.
Gotta be
Come
there.
prepared to win. Come prepared
Win.
to lose. No sore lose.
So come to our game night May 1st online. It's online. Please do not show up at our house or I will call the coronavirus police. So May 1st, 6:30, right online. And I look forward to seeing you guys there. We're going to have fun. Okay?
Check y'all later.
Yeah, see ya. Ignore the people in the background.
Oh my gosh. You guys are absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yes. You really got the board though. Did you really say you was gonna call the popo?
Yes.
Yes, I will call the coronavirus police because
But
we ain't
not
gonna have.
the real popo,
Okay.
the coronavirus police.
All right. Listen, there's enough people here. There's 4 people, but there's like 10 personalities, so that's enough people. Okay.
That's the state
All
limit.
right,
You
that's
can't add-
limit.
you
No
can't add
more. No more. I got like 6 personalities.
good.
He got 7. That's 2 people. No. So
We good.
social distancing.
Yes. Look, do y'all see why we needed them to host this? Are they not amazing? They are such a great family. I love the love that they have for one another.
Yes.
I love how involved they are with the family. Last night, they were sitting there hosting a house party. With
Yes,
party.
it was.
Right.
No, they had lighting and everything.
Okay. We had the dancing. We had apple juice shots. We had water shots. Okay. We made rounds around the table. You know, I was doing my DJ thing. I whipped out the chicken noodle soup. I showed some people how we do it in 2010. Okay. Okay.
Listen,
Oh, I
we
love
believe
y'all
even though
so
we
much.
quarantine, you don't have to
Yes.
be bored. You gotta have
Yes.
fun. You gotta do something.
We
you know?
had
That's right.
family nights,
Yeah.
movies, and we even built a tent, you know, so just promoting our positivity that, you know, you can spend time with your family indoors. You don't have to drive people crazy or to the hospital.
Yeah. I love it. I love it, y'all. I'm telling y'all, you will not be bored come next Friday. I'm like, cause
should we bring the strobe lights?
Yes. All that. Look,
I'm taking it.
I'm about to get on Amazon. I'm about to buy one of those. I need that for you. Thank you guys so much. We love y'all. Thank you
Thank you.
for this. And we cannot wait to hook up with you guys next Friday.
Yes, see you there.
See ya.
All right. So where's the ladies at? Where's the girlfriends? Where's our girlfriends at? We're waiting. I hope you guys are enjoying everything that we have, you know, the things that we're talking about. We are leaving time if anybody needs to if they have any comments or questions. My phone, don't hit my phone up, because I'm gonna tell you right now, my phone is on do not disturb. I'm not gonna get it till everything is done. But reach out to one of the ladies on Facebook, message them or text them or whatever, and I'm sure they will get it to me. I want to send a big shout out right now to Vernay. She is actually one of the board members. Homegirl, listen. She made this stuff happen. She made all this because it was just, you know, like I said, with the show that we did, that I did the interview this week, because I just met Bert and Danielle right on Thursday, I think it was. I think that's when I met them, you know, and as I was saying earlier, for those of you, if you weren't on, they are the reason why we are on this and on this platform and doing this, because they invited me to be a part of their show, which is What About the Next. They're doing some amazing things. Check them out, St. John's Church Ministry. They're out in Camden, but everybody home now, so everybody can check them out. You don't got to go nowhere. But they're doing some amazing things, and they put us on to this, which was awesome. So a great thank you to them again, because it allowed us to come on a different platform to be able to still connect with the girlfriends. But so when I told Renee, I'm like, listen, you know, this is what we could do, and she was just like, Refuel is like 24 hours away. And I was just like, okay. And I was like, all right, I'll talk to you later. And I went and got myself a cup of coffee, and I called her back. I said, let me tell you something. We can do anything. And we had like this big pep talk, and she did everything. So if you see, I don't even know how to use this thing. She knows how to use it. She is behind the scenes. She's on the laptop making all this stuff happen for us. So I'm so grateful to her for what it is that she's doing. Jalen, sorry. So anyway, obviously he got the memo, but for some reason he is in the kitchen. And I'm like, so, excuse that, y'all.
That's how they do.
Listen, thank you, because y'all already know it's about to get turned up, right? My thing's about to be real turned up right now.
Right, folks.
So, we're
Melissa,
missing Stacy, so we gotta see if we can get her back on here. So
Melissa,
Miss Ella, there was something that you wanted to say about the.
I just wanted to give the depression hotline numbers.
Oh, hold on one second. So let me just read this question again, because if anybody who was not on, I want them to hear, you know, like why we're referring to this. And basically it was someone who had asked, like, what do you ladies suggest I do for my mental health during this whole pandemic, because I have a history for depression. Go ahead, Miss Ella.
So the hotline numbers is 866-306-7442 or 800-273-8255.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me just make sure. Is Stacy back? Yes, girl. Listen.
Hey.
Don't leave us like that.
I'm on my phone now. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry.
All right. That is okay. I was sitting there like, where'd she go? I said, she's a law. I said, we ain't done yet. We need you, girl. All right, ladies. Let's dig in. Let's go to the next one. My relationship with my husband is estranged. Oh, wait. So first of all, let me just do a recap. So anybody who is logging in right now, this is our Girlfriend Give Me the Tea portion of our Refuel series. And basically it's girl talk. We have women who have submitted some things that they're going through in life, questions that they're going, they wanted advice from their best girlfriends. We are keeping them anonymous. This is a no judgment zone. We all got some mess behind us and maybe in front of us, or maybe on us. All right, so we ain't judging nobody at all. This is just girl talk with your girlfriends, where we're gonna offer the best advice in love, with compassion, without judgment, and fully understanding. Okay, so here we go. This one, and I was telling you, I feel like I'm doing my little straw. I'm doing these strawberry letters. So I'm like, all right, Steve, let's see. All right, this is my relationship with my husband is estranged. I feel so unfulfilled with him, and I kind of fell into the grass is greener on the other side situation. And I see in him what I don't see in my husband. All right, hold up, because I want to make sure that was clear, because we just added somebody into this situation. So this woman is saying that her relationship with her husband is estranged. So they're not doing too well, right? Because I'm just going to get over it. And she's saying that she feels unfulfilled with her husband, and she fell into a situation. I'm just going to leave that part right there, right? Just falling into stuff. And I see in him, so the situation, I see in the situation what I don't see in my husband. Am I wrong for wanting to leave my husband and be with this man who makes me feel so alive? All right, so listen, y'all, I'm gonna need some help with this one, right? I'm gonna say something right quick. First of all, because we're in a no judgment zone. I do, but listen, y'all don't take my face as judgment, because if you was here at my table, like, I'd be like, yo, girl, how you slip and fall on what and when and how? Like, wait, this ain't no slip and fall, girl. This was, no, we don't just slip and fall like that, right? Okay, but I'm extra, I'm extra, I'm loud, and I do all that stuff, right? So, but I do want to say, on a serious note, is that I think that the problem really lies is that it sounds more like you're seeking fulfillment from your husband, when you should be fulfillment is here within yourself. And if you're seeking fulfillment from an individual, when they fail, it's just like, oh, done with you, gotta move on. No, and it sounds more also like you're speaking from a place that needs healing. You sound like you're wandering, trying to figure out what does, because there's nothing wrong. Like, yo, we all want to feel alive. Like, I'm sorry that you don't feel that way. We all want to feel alive, but I don't think that it's the situation that's making you feel alive. That it's not really being alive. That's temporary, baby. In all honesty, that is totally temporary. That is not gonna last. And for you to say that you see in him what you don't see in my husband, well, I mean, in your husband is, okay, so what, oh my gosh, okay, the movie. Who's seen that movie? What's that movie? I think it was a Tyler Perry movie. What is like the 80-20, 90-10? What's the rule, y'all? What's the rule?
Think like a man.
What is it?
Think like a man.
Yeah.
Think like a man. Yes. All right, think like a man, right? So basically the whole analogy is you get the 80% from your husband, and then you get this 20% that's enticing, right? So it's like, yeah, you're seeing something in this person that you're not seeing over here. But it's only 20%. Like, that's not like, girl, so like, true. No. Yeah. So, Sarita, talk to me, girl.
Hey, y'all. Hey. How you doing? Yes. So yes, it is true. When you go on the 20% side, sometimes that's only a temporary thing. It's a temporary fix. You want something more permanent. You want something more stable. A lot of times we go through with our husbands, because I am married of 20 years, and we haven't always seen eye to eye. We haven't always agreed on things, But I remember us doing this thing where we used to kind of like hit the reset button, because when I felt like he wasn't listening to me, I would be like, "You never listen to me. I shouldn't have to feel like I have to talk to somebody else," because we didn't know how to communicate with each other. In my situation, we got married 7 months in, so we really didn't know each other then. One of my suggestions would be to, if you're unable to talk to communicate with your husband verbally, maybe you can do it through a text message sometimes. And this is what we used to do: when you send messages through text, when your husband or your significant others at work, sometimes they have more time to internalize what it is that you're actually saying. When you're face to face with a person and you're going back and forth with each other, each person thinks that they're right in what they're saying and they have a right to say what they're saying. And you should hear me. I want to hear you. Need to hear me, and I want to hear you. But sometimes we can't, when our mind is fogged and we can't focus completely. So it's better you have some time and look over what your significant other is actually saying, then you can internalize everything and you'll have a different outlook on what the person actually is saying, so that you can be able to start to communicate verbally. So we always hit that reset button when we went past the texting and then got, face to face and was able to communicate with each other. And if somebody started getting loud, we would be like, okay, reset. You can hit the reset button as many times as you want. When you keep saying reset, it's almost like you start to crack up. It's funny now, and it's like, I'm not even mad at you anymore. You know what I mean? Reset, and we keep clicking it. But again, on the 20% side, that is a temporary fix.
Yes, it is.
We don't feel good we don't feel good in the inside once we leave one place and then come back to the 80%. And it's like, oh my God, I did this thing that was wrong. If you're questioning yourself, what am I doing the wrong thing? Then 9 times out of 10, you are, because you feel guilty about what you're doing, because you still care about the person that you are with. When you have tenure with
Absolutely.
someone, you understand what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
what
You're
I
with
feel. I feel
someone
like
for such a long time.
yeah, and for someone to ask the question, it's like, am I wrong for wanting to leave and be so alive? And I'm like, well, the point of being alive has nothing to do with an individual. And I was like, and the fact that you're even asking for any kind of help, that means you really ain't trying to go nowhere. And
you don't want to leave.
And I think we really do need to get back to reviving. Like, at the end of the day, you stood there in front of him and you said yes. And he said yes. And there was something that y'all saw in each other that was an empire building stuff. Okay. And now, yes, we all go through rough times. Maybe you've been in it a long time. Maybe you haven't been in it a long time. But the fact is, going into something new when something was never finished is never going to have a good outcome. And you're going to hurt. It's not just the two that are going to hurt. You are going to hurt. So I feel, but my heart goes out to her, because I'm just like, dang, the big problem here is that you feel unfulfilled. And that you feel that you need a man to bring that fulfillment to you, And I'm like, no. That's the real thing that we need to get down to, because if you are fulfilled within yourself and you love yourself and you value yourself and you figure out what's actually missing in your life, okay? Because it's not a man and it ain't love, because you got two that love you, I guess. I don't know. But if you find on the inside of you that you're actually lacking, because it's not a man, maybe it's your purpose. Maybe it's your mission in life. Maybe that's actually the issue, because once you tune into that, nothing matters. Nothing else. Nothing holds light to that. So my desire is more that you find fulfillment and encounter fulfillment outside of a romantic relationship.
So true.
You know what, Melissa, real quick, just trying to add to that. The other thing is that we cannot, sometimes we place so many expectations on other people, and they let us down every time. And so we just really have to understand that, number one, we can't always trust our emotions.
That's right.
Intuition is different than the emotions that we have in. which is why we often end up thinking if there's something that's going to make you happy instantly, we're going to go for it, which is why, you know, so many people struggle with getting off of sugar and eating the right things because it feels good in the moment.
Yes.
I think we really always have to go back to, like Melissa and Sarita said, you know, what is the foundation that you're dealing with? And is it you or him really that you need to be dealing with in this moment?
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, it's you first.
Yes.
And then you can deal with what he's doing. And I think from experience, because I've been there where, you know, I was putting so much weight on my husband to fix things and to make our marriage work because I felt like I was doing so much and he wasn't doing enough. But at the end of the day, when I sat down with myself and started to realize that what I needed came from me and not him, I was able to now clear the platform. I didn't need him to love me anymore because I was loving me, you know, really, you know, and I freed him from that responsibility of having to. And, you know, and I gave him the option to whether or not he wanted to do his own work, you know, and so that might be what you have to do. But that 20% over there is not, because even if you went over there, you still going to come up with, you still go there. You know, I often tell people that you are the common denominator. So you could very well go over there. And if you haven't fixed you, you're going to run right back into the same issue.
Girl. I was sitting there like, oh my, I'm trying to listen. I'm trying not to scream.
And Melissa,
but that's so true. Yeah. Like, that is so true. Listen, y'all, we are here just stepping in, standing in the gap, whatever you want to say, as your best girlfriends. We're not trying to steer you wrong.
That's right.
We want you to feel whole. We want you to feel complete. We want you to feel love. We want you striving. We want you walking in purpose. We want you feeling strong. Like, we're not beating you down. We are here to lift you up, and we all have an experience, and it's relatable. Like, no, like looking through some of this stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, I can relate to that. Yep, I can relate to that. You know, so thank you. Like, yes. All right, so let's go on to this next one, which may have to be our last one. I think we have two, but I see that we just hit that 12 o'clock mark, and you know, this just sometimes happens. All right, sometimes this just happens when we get together with the girlfriends. But I hope that if those are watching, that you're enjoying, that you're understanding, and if, like I said, if you have things in the comments that you want to share with us, we're going to go ahead and review that soon. So let's get to this one because this is a big one here. I need help with my self-esteem. I don't like the way that I look because I'm overweight. I don't like to go places because I don't feel good in my clothes, in the clothes that I wear. I feel insecure when I go out because I feel like all eyes are on me because I'm big. Before you try to tell me, I'm flying away because this is sassy. I was like, because I feel like she's saying like, before you try to tell me, then just do something about your weight. Trust me, I have tried. If you have any advice for me, please do share. All right, Raquel, come on, girl. What you got?
So I love that. And I love her sassiness because you know what, at the end of the day, that's exactly everybody's problem. We all want to do something and we've tried it and it didn't work out. And so the problem is that we always want to rely on willpower. You can't, not when you're doing, because and it always for me goes back to mindset, right? The way that we're looking at things. So our minds are going to do the same thing that it wants to do over and over. It doesn't want to change. And so you deciding that you want to lose that weight and you want to do those things isn't enough, right? So your desire to do it has to be larger than your desire to want to stay the same. Yes. And that's the problem that we all run into is that as much as we might say it like, yeah, I'm going to lose 30 pounds, but your comfort level isn't eating certain things or, you know, not wanting to do the work because it doesn't feel good. So I often tell people you got to start with just like a kid, right? So I think of my daughter, she's a teenager. I'm not as fun anymore, right? So she doesn't want to do things with me, you know, just on her own, you know what I mean? So I have to make her do it. But when she does it, she has a good time. And so it's the same thing. You know, if you want to lose weight, You start small and you have to make it exciting, right? So start with what you like first. So if you enjoy dancing, turn on music and dance. You know, do it every day. You know, because that's calories burned, but it's also attaching that idea to your mind that this is fun. Exercise is fun. You know, it's when we try to do the big picture that we're just like, nope, I ain't doing that. Nope, I'm not going to get it done.
Yes.
You know, so small things every day. Pick something little. You know, maybe today I'm going to drink more water and make it fun. Like, how do you make that water exciting? And fake it till you make it. It's not going to start off like that. Like, you're going to literally have to hype yourself up. You know, get you a Melissa. Get your Melissa on, your hype man in the background. Like, this water's gonna be real good. You know, throw some stuff in there, whatever you got to do, throw it in your tea. You know, it doesn't have to just be plain water, whatever, but just make it exciting, because the more excitement that you build up around, you know, the weight loss and doing and making these changes, the more your mind will attach that that's something that you actually want to do, and it will get behind you. But the moment you grumble and complain, your mind is going to be like, nope, we ain't doing that. I'm going to go sit back down here. I'm going to eat this bag of chips. You know, start small, give yourself grace. You don't have to have it all figured out. One day at a time, baby steps.
Oh my goodness. Listen, see, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I think I done picked up the table at one point, because I'm like, God, but that's so good, because it's true. Like, attach excitement in it, because here you can hear how down, like, the first thing she said is like, look, I need help with my self-esteem. Once that's low, it's hard to smile. Yeah. It's hard. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even want to pretend. You don't even want to put the mask on, the fake mask on. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to do those things, right? And it's so good. Attach it to something exciting. And can I just say, like, girl, I think we all gained weight on this daggone quarantine. We all need to do some kind of class at this point. I'm attaching to something exciting. Oh my goodness, I love that, but it's true, and we can all. I know I can relate, because that's been something of mine, and it's not even just a weight thing. I think it's just like it's other stuff, like just in life. You know, I had shared most recently, because something that God was reminding me of. Because I'm good with being like, if I get an idea, it's like dumb. I'm like, oh, that's dumb. Who's going to want to be a part of that? Who's going to want to say this? You know what I mean? Like, what you talking about? What you trying to do? You ain't, girl, please sit down. I say this to myself. Okay. And something, and that's why I said you have to have, my belief is you have to have a higher power, whatever it is for you. I'm very clear, for me, it's God. And he had to remind me that those thoughts that come to me are his thoughts. And that they're good, and it's just him wanting to do something through me. Like, no, like, listen, I got a good thing I'm trying to do. I chose you, right? But it's something I had to attach it to something positive, attach it to something better, because for me, I can sit here and I could be my own worst enemy. I don't need nobody to talk about me. I'm doing playing by myself. I don't need nobody to do that. But I love that about attaching it to something positive, because that's what it is. Like, you can grumble about things, you know, and coming out of comfort zone. And even when it comes to things where you have tried and you failed, and it's like, no, I've tried, because here she was like, before you try and tell me, which tells me that must be people will be saying, girl, you just need to go ahead and lose the weight then. Like, obviously that must be what people are saying to her. Well, that's not working. She needed something deeper. And I believe that Raquel gave that to her, because I love that. Attach it to something positive, because that's what's going to make you want to get up and do it. Because I know me, and the little goals, that's perfect. Because if I sit here and be like, oh my God, I got to lose 200 pounds. Tomorrow I'm setting out to lose 200 pounds. I'm like, forget it. Pass me the Cheetos, Doritos, Fritos, and Tostitos. I'm going to sit my butt in and bring me a ginger ale. Oh, guys, I love that. So ladies, I want to we have one more. I just want to, that way, if we can just go through this. I know, like, we all have like different ones that we're going to be chiming in on. But if we can quickly just chime in on this one really quick, so that we can talk about what we have coming up, and we're going to go ahead and put an end to the broadcast. I hope everyone is enjoying. I hope they're able to get something out of it. Again, let's go to this one, because this one here was really in my heart. And when I tell you that was in my heart, this is something that's kind of been gnawing at me with this young lady. And I'm just like, oh no, girlfriend, we got you. We got you, baby. All right. So this is a young lady. She says, I need some relationship advice. I'm a 23-year-old mom to a toddler, and the relationship I have with my kid's father has been unhealthy for me. I tell myself things will get better and to just hang in there so our child doesn't grow up without a father in their life. My friends tell me I put up with too much from him and that I should have left him a long time ago. We're not married, which they always remind me of, but he is still my kid's father. What would you do? And this, I'm going to tell you, I actually had to change a bit of this submission. And the reason is because we wanted to make sure that it was an unidentifiable person, because she was a little bit more detailed, and for the sake of safety reasons for her, we wanted to make sure that we cut it back a little bit. So here we have this young lady, 23 years old. She has a child. She has a boyfriend, which is the father of the child, and it's an unhealthy relationship. And her fear is if she does leave, her child is going to grow up without a father. And to me, when she's saying, what would you do? She's not saying, tell me what to do. She's asking, according to our personalities, what would we do? And one of the biggest things is, well, you know what, Sarita, let's hear from you, girl. You there, Sarita? Can you hear us?
So I was trying to hear what you were saying. I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear anything that you were saying. The phone, it keeps going in and out, and I can't really hear.
Can you hear now? Okay, so let's see. Let's get with some of the other girlfriends, because I think she's having a problem with her broadcast. So ladies, what would you say? What advice do you have? And if it was you, what would you do? You're 23, you have a boyfriend. I guess y'all living together. It's unhealthy. You have a child, a toddler. So we know that it's 3 and under. What would you do? You're not married, and you have a fear of your child growing up without a father.
I would definitely. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
I always got something to say, but so my first thing is the child, right? So her reason for staying is the child, but I would also encourage her that should also, especially when you're dealing with an unhealthy relationship, if the relationship was healthy and you just didn't like the person, you know what I mean? Or you just weren't feeling them in that moment, I would give you a totally different advice. But when it comes to an unhealthy relationship, you have to remember that child is going to see that, and they're going to, for them, that's going to become normal. So if you don't want that unhealthy relationship to be what they believe is normal, especially because it's his son, which means that he's going to grow up thinking that it's okay to treat women that way. Mm-hmm. And so when you think of your decision of whether to stay or go, think of his future. Do you want him to grow up in a healthy space where he learns how to treat women and to show them love? Or do you want him that's okay to treat women the way that your significant other is treating
I totally agree. I feel like sometimes, and then I'm like, and being 23, like you're 23, you're young, I feel like in situations like this, we feel like we're doing better for the child by staying because we don't want them to grow up without a father. But what is the child seeing, and what are they going to imitate when they grow up? Are they going to, is it a girl who's going to accept that type of behavior? Is it a boy that's going to impose that type of behavior? Or maybe even the other way around, because women can be abusive too. So what if it's, they grow up to be abusive, and that's the way that they know how to talk down to each other. And that's something that's really, big for me. And I'm always talking to my kids about, is that we have to learn how to treat people. And it starts with us, it's like what we accept and what we shell out. My thing is, are you safe? That's like the thing. Are you safe? Right. And safe isn't just a physical thing, because unhealthy relationships are more than just a physical abuse. It can be a mental abuse. It can be a financial abuse. It can be an emotional abuse. Abuse is abuse. That's it. It's like we are not living in a time where it's not recognized or it's not seen. Like, no, it's seen. And I just feel I'm in total agreement with that. And because I know that if it was me, and it has been me, I know that I would walk away, and it's not easy. I'm not even gonna sit there and be like, oh my gosh, no, you can do it. No, boo boo, nope, it's not. And you find reasons to stay. You have hope. You have faith. You do all this stuff, but it really depends on the individual. And it doesn't always mean that, hey, it's forever, but for right now, for your safety, for your child's safety, I think that what your friends are telling you is not because they don't love you, they don't want to see you win. It's not because they're jealous. It's not because life is so much better on their end, but they're also able to see, and they have a love enough, they have more than enough love for you to try and direct you in the right way. And I think that the most thing that you need to know is that you're going to be okay. Because I think that we kind of think about things like, where am I going to live? Where am I going to go? I have no money, or I have no place to go. I can't go to my family. Like, those are the immediate things that come to mind when you're going through a situation that you should probably get out of. And people have come out of this. Relationships have survived this. Relationships have survived abuse. People have turned around. So it's not that. It's just the point of you being in a safe place, in a healthy place, because that's where you're going to thrive as a mother. As a mother, you're going to thrive in a healthy place, in a healthy environment, in a healthy relationship, even if that means that relationship is just with you and your child. So,
Can I just add something?
yes, please.
I after my divorce, I was married for 21 years, and after my divorce, the one thing I wanted to do was to keep it between my ex and I, but I didn't want to use my kids as a manipulating tool with their father to get things that I wanted or to keep a relationship going. So I made sure that no matter what, he was in their life, but he wasn't in mine. So
That is key. Go ahead. Yes.
sometimes we have to look at, it seems like in her story, she wants him to also be in her life. But if he can't be in her life, he can definitely be in the child's life, because just as Raquel said, if it's unhealthy, that child is looking. I one of the things I want to share is a story my daughter shared with me when she became 32 years old. She said to me, "Mom, thank you for showing me I deserve to be loved." And my
Yes.
and my daughter-in-law said to me, "Miss Ella, you raised your son to be a good man." And I said, "Why do you say that?" She says, "I've been cheated on by other men I were involved with." She said, "But I asked your son, why won't you cheat on me? Why you're so honest and trustworthy? I love it." He said to her, he says, "Because my mother always showed me that if you find someone you love, then be honest and true with them." He said, "Because when my father wasn't with my mom, she left him and she never looked back." That was a lesson he learned. So
Wow.
it goes to back to, we have to make the decisions that's right for us and our family. I've seen
Yes.
other women stay and it worked. But if you can't handle it, then you have to make the right decision for yourself. And you have to make sure if the father is there and want to be in the kid's life, let him be in the kid's life. Doesn't have to be in yours.
That was so essential, and you're absolutely right. It's about, he can be in the child's life, as long as it's healthy, that's what you want. And it does. Yes, I absolutely agree. It's like, do you want he can still be a father with you or without you. He can still be a father. So that shouldn't be the reason. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for that transparency with your own life as well, and sharing your story, because that is very powerful. And a lot of people can relate to that. And you know that that's something that's big, because there's so much help out in the world for people who are like that, for people who do want to go, we did last year, we had actually teamed up and did a domestic violence awareness walk. And, you know, so it's big, it's out there. People, you know, unfortunately, as women, a lot of times we do suffer silently and we keep things to ourselves. And sometimes it's kind of in the nature and how we grew up. I grew up that way. Like my mom, you ain't know nothing that was going on. But she suffered, you know, she had a lot of sufferings in life, just like a lot of people do, just like a lot of us do. I'm the total opposite. I was like, nope, I tell my business. I was like, you know, no filter, whatever you want to call it. I tell my business, but it's therapeutic for me. And I don't need nobody saying nothing about me that's not true. You're going to hear it from me. I don't have nothing to hide. Oh my gosh, ladies. I totally enjoyed having this time with you this morning. You are, you know, all of you, I hold near and dear to my heart. I have had many table talk conversations with you, even over the phone, even if it wasn't at our own tables, like whatever it was, but you have all been a blessing in my life. You have brought so much wisdom and insight, especially in emotional places, because I feel like we seek help when we're in an emotional state and we feel like we don't know what to do, or we're hurting, or we're angry. You know, that's when we seek help, and we seek our girlfriends, and they lovingly come to us and they listen to us and they help us dry our tears, you know, all that good stuff. And I'm so grateful for you, ladies. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for coming and being a part of this broadcast. And I truly believe that these women, they got answers and advice that they needed. And it's sound advice. It's been a no judgment zone. You know, it's all out of love. We laughed, you know, because that's what we do. We poke fun at each other. We give each other the looks. You know, we may pinch each other like, get your life right, girl. I say it all the time. I say it so much that my 5-year-old would be like, Mommy, get your life right. I was like, excuse me. You're not old enough to tell me I get my life right. But, you know, I was like, but I love you ladies so much. And thank you for being a part of Girlfriend Give Me the Tea. You all definitely served up some cookies, and the cookies is the sweet side to the tea that we got to pour on out. And I love you ladies. Thank you for being a part of this. So I want to say before, because we're about to go to we're going to go to Mike and Jenny in about a minute. And I just want to share with the ladies here that, you know, we have some great things, you know, coming up as well. And if you guys enjoyed being a part of this and being with, seeing us all on here, and even if you want to be a part of it, we're doing this thing called the Real Table Talk, which is basically what we do. So I have a podcast, and it's the Hey Girlfriend podcast. And that's where I share my tea. Okay. I don't talk about nobody else's life. It's hardships and things that I go through and what I'm doing to get through them. And it's just to be relatable. I feel like we're living in an age where it's very difficult for people to be transparent. And the only reason is because maybe we shared something with somebody and they went and ran their mouth. Okay. Something that we told them in confidence. But transparency, a lot of times that we struggle with. And so we are launching the Real Table Talk, which is growing up. This is what we did. We were, well, not we. I wasn't allowed because I was little, but all the women would come together, and I have some powerful women in my family, and I know y'all do too. And they would sit at the kitchen table while us kids played around, and they would have their coffee, and they had we Puerto Rican, so it was bread and butter, you know, with the coffee. Maybe sometimes guayaba and cheese, and some crackers. But it was always something unhealthy with coffee. But anyway, and the women would sit here and they would chit chat, and my mom, my aunt, my grandmother, my great aunts, they would pour out the stuff that was going on in life, and they would pour back into each other. And I remember playing house in my room because I wasn't allowed to be all up in the business. You know, they'd be like, get out. I'm allowed to be up in business. But I remember growing up and having my dolls, and I would do the same thing. I would play out what they would do. And naturally growing up, we do the same thing today. I get together with my cousin or my aunts or my friends, and we all be in the kitchen at the table, and it's the best table talk because you get to get everything out and you get to be filled back up, and then we get to go on our way. And that's going to be the essence of the video blog that we're working on. So you're going to be seeing these ladies on here and some other ladies. You know, I was like, I want to shout out to all the ladies who are in my life. I could sit here and name you all, but you know what's going to happen? I'm going to forget one because of the nerves that's running through my body, and I don't want to offend nobody. So y'all know who y'all are. Aside from the Love Me More organization, I have some really amazing women in my life who God has brought to me, and I'm totally thank you. I thank you for your support. I thank you for pushing me and helping me getting out of comfort zones, because I need that too, especially me. I need that too. All right, guys. So listen, no matter what it looks like, you know, our story, it is a book. It's a book, and we want to make sure that we are living that nonfiction book, all right? Not the fictional. We want that fake stuff, all right? And there's going to be some drama, and there's going to be some juice. There may be some scandal, and that's okay, because it's a no judgment zone, baby.
Right.
But it makes you who you are. And at the end, it's victory. At the end, you win. So no matter what it looks like, no matter what you feel like you're being surrounded by, if it's trouble, if it's heartache, whatever it is, I promise you're going to get through this, okay? So we want to go ahead and take it over to Mike and Jenny so we can go ahead and close this thing out.
In the valley, I know that you're with me, and surely your goodness and your mercy follow me. So my weapons are praise and thanksgiving. This is how I fight my battles. And I believe you've overcome, and I will lift my song of praise for all you've done. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how. You win, ladies. You win.
Thank you so much, Jenny. We love you guys. Thank you for being on the show. We'll see you guys later for part 2. Stay tuned, guys.